How you doing? Rick Bowman, and I'm back. And this particular video, really I want to address, you don't know me. Why would you want to listen to me? Who the hell am I? Well, you kind of already know my philosophy that you really can't teach something that you haven't done. And I guess one of the reasons why I'm putting together this series of videos is I finally got fed up. I've been in the retail sales automotive industry for over 20 years. And you watch people come in day by day by day, and they keep making the same mistakes. They keep blowing it. They keep coming in with attitudes. And I think that a lot of advice, excuse me, I get a little bit of a cold today. A lot of advice that's out there and the attitudes are spawned from this negative garbage, okay, that I happen to find a lot of on the internet. Now I want you to know I'm retired out of the business, and so much of the negative advice that's out there, it's spawned by people love negative. They want this. They want this fighting thing. And that's not the way I've seen people that have come in and negotiated successfully in a dealership have ever arrived at what I would consider to be a great price, okay, on a car. You get a lot more positive results when you have a positive attitude and the correct approach. Well, I've been waiting for somebody for a couple of years to do what I'm doing, and nobody has. And my friends and I were sitting around a couple of nights ago. We were talking, and they said, well, why don't you do it? You're always complaining about it. Why don't you do it? So that's my purpose of doing it. But again, you don't know me. So just briefly, I'll give you some of my qualifications. I started out ground level, and there's kind of a hierarchy to how you move up in the automobile industry. And you start off as a salesperson, and that's exactly what I did. Well, I took it very seriously and moved up, I don't want to say rapidly, but I became an expert at each one of my job assignments. As a salesperson, I sold over 200 units a year. As I stated before in one of the previous videos, that the national average is approximately 8 cars a month, which would be about 96 a year. I doubled it. But when I was on the sales floor as a salesperson, I took the job and I looked at it, it's my own business. So I over-delivered when it came to customer service. Well, by the second year, I wasn't taking ups, or what they refer to as customers that just walk onto the lot. All my stuff was repeat and referral. Well, pretty soon I was selling well over 200 cars a year, and I was doing it from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, and maybe a half a day on Saturday. And I had such control of my customers because I did things for them that most people didn't do. When somebody bought the car, they bought the car from me, and I came with the car. So what I did was I booked all their service appointments. They didn't call the dealership, they called me. I took care of it. So consequently, when it came to selling them their second or their third or their fourth car, there was a lot of trust. My dad had always taught me that cream rises, and management was where you wanted to be. So I finally asked the dealership that I worked for at that time to please let me go into finance. Excuse me. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I got to see how you actually arrange financing for a customer by building bank relationships. I spent about 2-3 years as a finance manager, or that's the person that you would see when you come in to do your paperwork once you've agreed to buy the car. Then I was moved to the desk as a sales manager. And that was interesting because it was a totally different aspect. Your job was to hold gross and make sure that the salespeople held gross. And you got to see the real areas of where the profit was in a car deal, and whether it was good for the dealership or not good. And let's face it, when you're buying a car, it has to be win-win. And that's the first advice I'll give you, is it has to be a win-win situation. The dealership has to win, and the customer has to win, okay, in order to retain that customer and keep them. And it's a real art to being a sales manager. After a couple of years of that, I was offered a position as a finance department director. What a finance department director does is they interface with the sales department, okay, meaning with the sales managers and with the banks. And their job is to build a rapport with those banks and get what I call gray area deals done. Deals that don't necessarily fit the format of what the bank wants in the way of, say, lending criteria, but using that relationship and making sure that the sales managers actually look good by making sure that that deal gets bought. There's a lot of states out there called spot delivery, and we'll get into this in later videos. But a lot of times you'll put a vehicle out and the deal isn't finalized yet, and a finance department director's job is to do that and oversee the finance department profits. After that, I became a general sales manager, and that oversaw finance as well as the sales department and made sure that the dealer's principals' objectives were met. So when I say I've got 20 years in the business, I am an authority on this subject. I am an expert on this subject. And the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing right now with creating these videos is to maybe educate some people on how to buy a car properly. Okay? It may appear as we go on that I'm taking the dealership's side. I'm certainly not, and I'll explain that in more detail later. If you can understand how a dealership operates, how it functions, how it profits, and teach people that, and teach them the sales process, because nobody is out there that teaches that sales process, and there's nobody on the internet who does it. It's all scare tactic. It's all, here's what they're going to do next, and here's how you respond. And for some reason, the majority of the information, the advice that's given out there is completely negative. You know, I said it before and I'll say it again. You cannot teach something you haven't done. I am not very good at painting the inside of houses. Okay, matter of fact, we're getting ready to get our house painted. And you know what? I pick up the phone and I make a phone call. I call an expert. I call somebody who knows what they're doing. And in this case, to get the house painted, it's going to be a whopper. It's expensive. But I'm paying for that expertise. Now, you are correct. I could go ahead and I could do it myself. And the results will be exactly what would happen when you hire a non-expert. Okay? It's not going to be as good. If you want a great result, you want great advice. There's no reason why you shouldn't continue listening to the videos that we produce. Number one, it's free. We did decide, I was sitting with my friends the other night, we did decide we're going to go ahead and put up a website. Not everybody's going to see this on YouTube. And they're pretty upset because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a bunch of videos and we're going to give them away for free. The one thing that irritates me is on the internet when you go out and you're looking for advice, somehow there's always a catch, there's always a hook, there's always something that people want money for. And in this subject, I really don't believe that we need to be charging anything for it. So along with the website, there's other free content that I can put up that's written content, like different forums, that you can take a look at, and different links for other resources that I can provide that I cannot do on video. So it's going to take us a couple of weeks to put that website up, but please come and check it out and see what you think. In the meantime, I think I've given you my qualifications. I hope this helps you. And like I say, it's all free, so feel free to listen. We're probably even going to end up putting up a forum so you can take your comments. This is such a wide subject that I'm sure there's other questions people are going to have out there that we're not going to be able to cover on video. And maybe I can take those and form some more videos and get people educated. I thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.